You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Hotspots, Horseshoe Curve, Tehachapi, Chicago Racetrack, and more. Locomotive, the video companion to our best-selling special issue. And a special collection from documentary producer Rich Lassen. All these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com.
Good morning, Trains readers. I'm Brian Schmidt.
And I'm David Lassen.
And we're bringing you the news for Friday, August 31st. Holiday weekend coming up here. We have a lot of news to get you over that into that holiday weekend. And we won't be open on Monday, no Newswire. So you'll have to get your fill today. Let's talk about water. Water in Wisconsin. There has been a lot of rain here in the past week. There's been washouts on the Wisconsin and Southern, BNSF, and the Canadian Pacific. It's affected AMTRAK's Empire Builder, and we've learned just today that there's flooding now at the Mid-Continent Railway Museum in North Freedom. And just earlier this summer, they had rebuilt a bridge that was lost about a decade ago to a flood. So we're watching that carefully to hope this newly rebuilt bridge survives.
It has been very wet here lately, and it's supposed to continue the whole week. I think there's rain in the forecast for the next 10 days. So,
I even saw a duck carrying an umbrella. That's how much it's raining here.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you have for us?
Our big story this week, I would have to say, has been the Southwest Chief, and it's been a big story in a couple of ways. One of them is Bob Johnston reported from a meeting last week in which we say that one of Amtrak's top executives said that Amtrak is not going to run any trains after December 31st on routes that don't have PTC. Now, Amtrak, as it turns out, vehemently disagrees with our interpretation of events. But we stand by that story. Bob has talked to multiple people who confirm that's what, or who tell us that's what happened. He's had more since Amtrak made his comment confirming that. So right now, I think we agreed to disagree with Amtrak about what exactly the substance of that meeting was, or certain details of it. But one thing, the sort of controversy over that has somewhat obscured the actual Southwest Chief part of the story, which is that Amtrak is moving very close to replacing the chief with a bus bridge.
Between what points?
It would be, well, there's a couple of options. I'm going to talk specifically about the one where they would, the train would stop in Dodge City and then resume in
Dodge City, Kansas.
Dodge City, Kansas, and resume in Albuquerque. Because in their analysis, or they had a PowerPoint presentation on this that they presented to stakeholders in the whole chief thing, that the various municipalities and other government agencies that have worked to maintain the chief route or raise money to maintain the chief. And in their proposal for this bus bridge service, the Dodge City version, while they're basically, it's not going to have sleeping cars anymore, so basically you're saying goodbye to about $14 million in revenue the train earns now with sleeping cars. But they say that the bus bridge version will make approximately the same amount of coach revenue. They're projecting 23.2 to 24.2 million dollars in coach revenue from this bus bridge version. Last year, the train made 23.7 million in coach revenue. So there's basically a $500,000 on either side of last year's is their projection. But that is despite the fact that in the new version, let's take the westbound for an example. Train will leave Chicago at 3. You're going to ride on a coach overnight to Dodge City, get there at 5:25 a.m. At 6 a.m., you will transfer to a bus. You will then ride a bus to Albuquerque, arrive at 4 p.m., depart Albuquerque at 4:45 p.m., ride overnight in a coach to Los Angeles, arriving at 8:15 a.m. They think this is going to get the same amount of coach revenue. I mean, to me, I can't imagine anyone really wanting to go train, bus train, with those rather unattractive, like okay, maybe you finally fall asleep in your coach seat at 5 a.m. You get to wake up and go on a bus.
What it's going to do for me is get me to fly more places.
I think, and if you really don't want to fly, why not just take a bus the whole way?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I find it really hard to believe that this is considered a competitive option to what they have now. And I think that's been obscured a little bit by all the discussion about what was or wasn't said, is that this is a pretty horrific proposal for anyone who believes in rail passenger service.
Who is out there fighting it?
Well, I think we're going to have a follow-up story that Bob is working on
Good.
that. I'm hoping for it today, although it may not
Okay.
be till early next week. But yes, we're definitely not done with coverage of this story. It's just a little bit in abeyance while we're gathering more information.
Well,
So.
that's sad to hear. Get out and ride the Southwest Chief while you can, if collecting that mileage is important to you, right?
Or just if you want to enjoy what is a pretty spectacular train ride. Particularly, probably the best part of it is the part they want to get rid of.
Well, that's a shame. And the rest is at night.
Yes.
So, all right. Happier news. We have a restored boxcar at the North Carolina Transportation Museum down in Spencer. It's quite colorful. You can see a picture of it now, and you can go on Newswire to find out why it's so colorful and why it's significant to the museum and to the Southern Railway in the past.
Oh, you tease. You're not going to tell them any more than that.
No, I'm not. Go read Trains Newswire. We also have, we're going to close with a video. Stay tuned. We're going to close with a video of the Cumbres and Toltec photo charter from last week. Jim Rinn was out leading. You can see, we had a tease for it last week in the video. We have a full video now of the event, or from the event, and you can still book. There's 9 seats available. If you think steam charters are for you and photography, we still have 9 seats open in the Skookum charter in Oregon next March. You can find out more of that, of course, on Trains Newswire as well.
I think based on this video you're going to see and the pictures I've seen, what we know from the fact that Jim had that duty is it's good to be the boss.
It is good to be the boss. I don't know that from firsthand experience, but I can only guess.
Yes.
So, all right, do you have anything else?
That's it for this week.
All right, well, thanks for watching.